Hi, everybody. It's me, Amanda, with Once in a Wild, and it's time for our live stream program, our regularly scheduled 3:30 program. It is Monday. Happy Monday. Thank you all for joining us. And I hope you're having a wonderful Memorial Day today. I hope you're having a great holiday. And I hope everybody is nice and safe today and you're having a great time. I hope everybody's healthy and you're staying safe, like as always. And we're happy to see everybody. We missed you over the weekend. And today we're going to be talking about something really exciting. And I'll get to that in just a moment. First of all, we like to make our announcements before I begin and start talking about the animals, because I tend to forget about announcements as I get excited about the animals, as you might imagine. I love the animals. They're the best part. Hello, Donna, and hello, Mary, and hello, Sevi. It's so nice to see you, Sevi. It's been a while. Are you out of school yet? I hope you are excited for summer. This should be really exciting. I'm excited to go swimming and doing all the summer things like going to the river, maybe, etc. Hopefully we can get out and do that soon. I love summertime. It's my favorite season. So I wanted to announce, and I put a big banner down below if you haven't noticed. There it is. Gift cards are now available. We want to remind everybody that you guys can go to our website, onceinawild.com, and purchase a gift card to give to your friends and family for any occasion. They are good for everybody, all ages, of course. If you have never met me before, my name is Amanda once again, and this is Once in a Wild. We are an animal outreach company, which means we're a mobile zoo. So we can bring animals to you as long as we are, thinking about our safety right now. We're thinking about getting back out in society very, very soon. So we'll let you know what that's going to look like soon. If you want to give us a call, our number's floating down below as well. You can give me a call and talk to me about that. We are also offering Zoom room animal encounters, of course, like you guys already know, I'm sure by now. And we're doing virtual live streams every Monday and Friday at 3:30 p.m. Central, and those are free of charge. Our live streams are free, and that is something that we're willing to give to you guys for free of charge. It is a Q&A. We ask that you guys follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube if you can. That is our one thing that we ask. And if you do have it in your heart to donate, we do have donation options available for two ways to do that. One is via Venmo. You can find us at Once in a Wild is our handle on Venmo. And another way to donate to our cause, to our zoo, to our animals is via Amazon wishlist. That is also found at onceinawild.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom and that will there'll be a box down there that says donate to our cause, and that will lead you to our Amazon wish list, which we have specially chosen items for our animals that you can donate to us. So enough about that. Also, the gift cards are good for virtual programs or in-person programs once we're out again, and we plan to be very, very soon. So just give me a call if you're curious about that, or give me a text or an email as well. You can find all those things at onceinawild.com. Onceinawild.com does not have our email, but you can contact us through that by requesting a contact, and I'll email you back. How's that? So if you guys have any questions, just give me a call. That's the easiest way to reach me, or give me a text message. I do reply to them. Hello, everyone tuning in. I'm so happy to see you guys already. Let's go ahead and get rid of this banner since I've already talked about gift cards. You can see I'm actually on the ground today. We have a little bit of a different perspective, don't we? I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable right here. If you don't mind, I'm going to scoot over this way. We've decorated for you guys once again. Do you like our plants? I like the plants. We're going to be learning today about some animals, as always, but we're also going to be learning about animal enrichment. Animal enrichment is special things for animals to do and keep them busy, and we'll talk all about that in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. What do you think? Could everybody hear all of the audio on that? If you couldn't, I do apologize. I had my computer sound turned off for a hot second, and then I turned it back on. As you know, this is a live program, and sometimes I don't do everything 100% correctly on the spot like that. So, like I said, we're going to be learning about some animals today, as always, but we're also going to be learning about how to take care of our animals in a very specific way, and that is through animal enrichment. So what the heck is enrichment? Well, that means it's something that an animal can do in their day. So without something to do, like a toy to play with, or maybe special foods, treats, activities that they can do, etc. Just like us humans, we might get bored and we might get complacent. We might get stressed out with nothing to do. We need some way to feel better, etc. Those are going to be forms of enrichment for your animals. Some animals require a lot of enrichment. Some animals require not so much enrichment, but all animals require some sort of enrichment, whether it be environmental or food or sensory enrichment. There's all kinds of different forms of enrichment. And if you guys think of some different enrichment ideas throughout this program, feel free to comment down below. As always, I do appreciate your questions with your comments and questions, concerns, anything you want to say to me at all. Tune in with, or chime in rather, with your kiddos' names. It's really fun to find out whose kids are watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the program. So we're going to meet our first animal, and I'm going to go ahead and get her out. This is a nocturnal predator from Africa. Did you know that this was a predator? Oh my goodness, look at that cute little predator. This here is Shirley, and she is a nocturnal animal. She is a hedgehog, and this type of hedgehog comes from Africa. It is the African hedgehog. There are 3 main species of hedgehog: the African, the European, and the Asian or Indian hedgehog. It's also known as the long-eared hedgehog, that species is. These guys are the smallest. They are sometimes called the African pygmy hedgehog. I think if I talk a little quieter, she'll be a little bit more comfortable. These guys are also a prey animal. They're not just a predator. They are predators to insects. That is what they eat in the wild. They might eat worms. They might eat crickets, roaches, anything that comes out at night. Remember, they are nocturnal, meaning they come out at night. Mostly. And these guys will sleep all day long. They are 100% nocturnal, a very, 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 very sensitive animal to light, which is why sometimes she looks around at all these lights. As you may know, there are studio lights here in the studio. And I'm going to lower my voice just a little bit to make her a little bit more comfortable. They are a naturally nervous animal, and their defense is to roll up into a ball and have all these spines around their body to stay safe. So the main predator of this animal, even though they are a predator too, oh my goodness, she's so cute. She's saying hello with her arm and her leg, and all of her legs now. Look at her cute little legs. Her legs are very, very slender. And that way she can easily pull them into her skin there and kind of wrap her skin around herself and use all these spines, which are just her modified hair, by the way. Those spines cannot shoot out of her body, but if an animal were to come and touch her on top, she could flex those spines to be very, very safe and kind of just roll into a ball like that with her specialized skin. And she has muscles to be able to kind of flex and stay rolled up into a ball. And she also has really, really strong abdominals as well. She does kind of like a little sit-up or a crunch, rolls into a ball, and she's going to be able to kind of pull that skin all the way around her face, all the way around her body. And she uses those spines to stay safe. But those spines are just hair. They are made out of keratin, just like your hair and your fingernails. So the spines are kind of like a spiky hair, like fingernail-like thing on top of their backs. They have so many of them, just like we have so many hairs on our head. A lot of people ask me, oh my gosh, how many spines do they have? I have no idea. Every single hedgehog is going to have a different amount. And every single hedgehog is going to be losing them all the time, just like we lose our hair. I know I lose a lot of hair every single day. I don't know how I'm not bald. That is also a feature of all mammals, right? Well, all mammals have hair. That is a feature of mammals. Another feature of mammals is them being warm-blooded. They are vertebrates, meaning they have bones, including a spinal column. They also give milk to their babies. That is a feature of all mammals too. Shirley is a female. We do have 2 hedgehogs here with us in our care, Shirley and Laverne. Let me see how many questions you guys have so far while I let Shirley hang out down below for just a moment. It's hard to answer your questions on the laptop. Laptop is down here below me, below the camera. Camera's up here. And as you might imagine, holding the hedgehog and answering questions at the same time is kind of difficult. So I'm going to see what questions you guys have. Hello, everyone. Super cute, Tiffany says. Oh my God, super cute. Hi, nice to see you, Tiffany. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in again. We are so glad to see you back. And they are super cute. Very, very cute animal. What do they eat? So these guys are insectivores. So hedgehogs eat a lot of bugs. So out there in nature, they'll eat things like worms. They'll eat roaches, crickets. When they're out at night, they'll kind of look for bugs. They'll eat scorpions. That's one thing that they can eat. They'll eat spiders sometimes. They're pretty opportunistic, meaning that they will take whatever opportunity they come across to hunt and eat. They use their sense of smell and a little bit of hearing to hunt. They have terrible, terrible vision. If they were a human, they would have to wear big old glasses to be able to see anything. Their vision is very, very poor, but their sense of smell is very, very sensitive, and they can smell underground without digging underground. They can smell about 2 to 4 inches underground, just with no effort, just sniffing. And 2 to 4 inches for them is a pretty long distance. That would be like a few feet for us. That's pretty impressive. They do mostly eat termites in the wild, though, because they are often seen living inside of termite mounds, living with their food, the termites, and then eating the termites as they please as well. Good question. And then I believe Sevi is talking. Sevi says, I love hedgehogs, and I'm sure Mary also loves hedgehogs too. We do too. And thank you, Donna, for tagging some of your friends. That is very, very helpful. Hello, Alejandro. Hope you're having a good day off. If you're off today, if you're not, I'm so sorry. You have hamsters. Did you know that hedgehogs are not rodents like hamsters? I'm going to pick her back up again so I can show you the animal while we're talking about her. So hedgehogs are actually in the shrew family. They are a shrew-like mammal, which is the family they're in. Shrews include hedgehogs, shrews, tenrecs, all kinds of animals. Those guys are very closely related. Hamsters are rodents. They have very different teeth. And hamsters have a different diet than a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are insectivores. They can eat a little bit of vegetables and things, but they don't eat a ton of vegetables. They're mostly insectivores, eating insects and bugs. But that is very cute. Hamsters are related to other rodents like guinea pigs. We have guinea pigs here at Once in a Wild. They are therapy animals. Okay. Did I end the broadcast? What happened? Are you guys there? Okay, I guess. Yes, so we had some technical difficulties. Last night we had some storms, some really bad storms here in San Antonio. I'm not sure if that's what happened just now, if we had a blip in our internet. I'm sorry about that. Am I back now? I hope so. I think I am. All right, you guys. Yay, I'm so glad I'm back. Hopefully the last thing you heard was about hedgehogs and termites. These guys do live in termite mound. I think that's what I was talking about. But yes, we had some very bad storms last night. And from about, I want to say 9 p.m. to about 1 a.m. last night, we lost complete power here in San Antonio, Texas, where I'm from. And hopefully that's the last technical difficulty we have regarding that. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm back. Wonderful. Yes, we're in San Antonio. So when we were... our time with Communicare the other day, brought to you by Chimoy. Chimoy is the one that hired us, so they are good friends of ours. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, I'm back. Good. So we were talking about hedgehogs in the wild, right? I set her down again. Poor thing. She's like, can I just go back to bed? Remember, these guys are nocturnal, so sometimes they get a little bit cranky about coming out for programs. We're gonna make her as comfortable as possible. She's so cute. I know she's a very, very popular animal. But yeah, these guys are not rodents. They are in the shrew family, like I said. Insectivores is what they are, eating bugs. Did you know that this is an African predator? So next time somebody asks you, what's an example of an African predator? You can say hedgehog, and people will look at you like you're crazy. But you'll be like, I learned that from Once in a Wild. I learned that from Amanda. And you'll be right. And you'll be like, really, really proud of yourself, I hope. As you can see, I'm on the floor today. So I promised we were going to talk a little bit about enrichment today. So these guys, again, are nocturnal. That is one thing about hedgehogs. So something to keep in mind when you are giving enrichment to your animals. Enrichment is something fun or something that will kind of bring out natural behaviors or get rid of bad behaviors or unwanted behaviors. So if you have dogs and cats at home and they are naughty dogs and cats, maybe they need more toys to play with, right? Maybe they're looking for shoes to chew on, or they're looking for something to dig in, or they're getting into everything. If you give them something else to do, a lot of times that will take away that bad behavior and promote good behavior. Same thing with kids. Kids and all humans also need enrichment in their lives, or else we get really bored. So one really cool way to enrich a hedgehog, remember they are nocturnal, so we're only going to give them these things at night or leave them in there overnight for them. Otherwise, they're not going to enjoy these items. They're going to be sleeping all day long. And so we have to keep that in mind for our particular animal, the hedgehog. So I brought you a few examples of enrichment in general. And a few of these enrichment items you can use for different animals, and I certainly do sometimes. I did mention that hedgehogs eat bugs, right? So sometimes giving them what we call novel food items is very enriching and fun for them. So we will give them things like mealworms. Here's some mealworms. Yum. I know Ricardo loves mealworms. So I know everybody loves mealworms, not really. But the hedgehogs like mealworms, and we'll give them to them sometimes. I have tried to feed her mealworms on camera before, and she just did not care at all to eat them, probably because she's just ready to go back to bed during the day. That's fine. Another thing you can give them is environmental enrichment, something like hay. So I have this cute little cardboard box that's very, very shallow, and I've even cut out a little space here. That way they can go in and out. A hedgehog is not a climbing animal, right? They can't climb very much. They can probably walk up like a slope, like a smooth slope, but they can't like climb over a big box, right? So we're going to make it easy for them, something fun for them to enjoy. And I put some Timothy hay in here. I have Timothy hay for some of my other animals to play in or eat as well. Like the rabbits and the guinea pigs eat hay. Sometimes some of the other animals like digging in hay. So I'll give that to the hedgehog sometime. I mentioned the hedgehogs are also really, really good at smelling. So a lot of times scents are really good for hedgehogs. And a really easy way to enrich them is by giving them old hay from some of the other animals. Perfectly okay. You can give them rabbit hay that's been in with the rabbit for a couple of days, or guinea pig hay that's been in with the guinea pigs for a couple of days. Sometimes the hedgehogs will do something really cool called anointing. So something that people don't know about hedgehogs is they will put smells on themselves if they really like the smell or they just want to be really stinky and gross. We don't know everything about anointing, but we do know that what hedgehogs do is they will find a smell, they will bite onto the stinky item, and then they will actually make a foam with their spit and saliva, and they will put that foam all the rest of their body. So that might be for a couple of reasons. A couple of theories about that are, one thing is to smell worse, to deter predators, to taste bad to predators. Another reason might be just because they like the smell, so they want to smell like that item. It might be to attract mates. It could be for many reasons. Other animals also anoint themselves, but it's kind of like making their own perfume. So sometimes hedgehogs will bite onto something they really like, make a little paste out of it with their saliva and spit. Sometimes they even use their food to do that. So some people give their hedgehogs cat kibble. We do too. It's really good for them. High protein kitten kibbles we give them. And that is the majority of their diet, honestly. And they can also get bugs and things. But if they get like a new food item, they might be like, ooh, I really like the smell. And they'll bite into it and then make a nasty paste out of it with their spit and then lick themselves. If you look it up, it's really cool. And they actually put it all over their their spines. They're not really quills, they're spines. So quills is a word that we use for porcupines most of the time, and spine is a more appropriate term for hedgehogs. What other questions do you guys have? That was my class pet. Oh, for the hamsters? Pretty cool. I had a hamster as a class pet too when I was younger. Can they be pets if they are trained? So hedgehogs can be pets. They're not the cuddliest of animals. As you probably saw, Shirley was a little bit moody about being out during the daytime. They are super nocturnal. So you're never really going to see them out in the daytime. You're going to see them come out at night. But they do enjoy enrichment items at night, like I said. And if you're more of a nocturnal person, it might be a more appropriate pet for you. I do not recommend keeping them in your bedroom because unless you sleep during the day, you are going to hear them partying all night. They're going to be running around. They're going to be eating. Hedgehogs run 2 to 12 miles every single night. That is the average amount of distance that they're going to run in the wild and otherwise. So that's just a lot of activity to hear all night long. They're also not the cuddliest of animals, although they can be trained to tolerate humans, and it all kind of depends on their personality. So you might get a baby hedgehog and then it grows into an animal that just doesn't like humans ever, and that's not really their fault, that's just their personality. So then you have an animal that doesn't really like you sometimes, and some hedgehogs are totally tolerant of people. Shirley is very, very good in the evening and at night, and she's typically very good on regular programs when we go visit classrooms and parties and things, which we normally do. But here in the studio, she's a little nervous because there's a lot of overhead lights and lamps, which I totally understand. And so I give her breaks from now and then. So it's all just going to depend. They're not a super hard animal to take care of, but you do want to, of course, do your research before adopting any animal into your life. But I don't really necessarily recommend hedgehogs just because they have a lot kind of working against them and working against you, being nocturnal, being very, very spiky. It does hurt to hold them when they are rolled up like that. I'm just really used to it. I practice a lot and I know how to hold her lightly, not to get hurt. And I know when to set her down when it's just too much. You know what I mean? There's a lot to think about. Do your research. If it's something that you want to put up with, you know, it's okay. They're not like a bad pet, but they're not necessarily a good pet either. So yes and no, it just depends. Also, some people are actually allergic to hedgehogs. I've known a lot of people that when they hold a hedgehog and they get like little rashes on their hand, they have to wash their hands every time they hold them, which isn't really pleasant either. There's a lot to take into this consideration. One really awesome, oh, no problem. You're welcome. Enrichment item for hedgehogs and something that they should have all the time is a wheel. This is a hedgehog wheel right here. It's a wheel for, I would say, small rats and things like that as well. I don't know if a hamster would want this size, but a hedgehog certainly uses this size wheel really, really well. As you can hear, it's not very loud. So if you did happen to have this in a room where humans are sleeping or hanging out too, it wouldn't be as loud. But what's really, really important about enrichment in general is you want to make sure enrichment is not only appropriate and works well for your animal. That's sometimes through trial and error, but you have to also make sure that your enrichment is safe for your animal. And this wheel right here is very, very quiet, but it's also very safe for your animal. That is top priority. You don't want to give your animal anything that might harm them, be toxic to them, etc. We'll talk about all of that. Hedgehogs not only enjoy, like I said, scents and maybe environmental enrichment, like the hay that we talked about, right? But they also might enjoy a wheel. And this is actually pretty essential to give them the exercise they need, unless you just have an enormous enclosure where they can just run around the whole enclosure and utilize a lot of space. So I actually have a really fun video of Shirley hanging out on her wheel and running. Would you like to see that? Let's look at that really fast. Because it's kind of hard for them to do that right now during the day. It's just a lot to ask of them to be active during the day. This is their bedtime. Let's go ahead and watch her running on the wheel. That would be fun. Oh yes, this should be fun. Here we go. Here she goes. So I actually did catch her running on the wheel during the daytime once when I put her back into her habitat after giving her a little bath. Hedgehogs also do require bathing and grooming as well. You have to know how to trim their toenails. They grow very, very quickly because they are a high protein diet animal. They eat a lot of protein, meaning insects and high protein cat food. So their nails grow very, very fast. So that is very common with high protein animals, predators and things. Look at her go. That was really cute. Let's watch it again. I could watch that all day long. I don't know about you, but you can see how they enjoy their wheel. So the wheel is very, very important. Look at her go. She's so cute. Oh, yes. Look at her legs. Her legs are adorable. You guys like that? Look at her go. Gotta go fast. Pretty cool. All right. That was super cute. Any questions again about the hedgehog or anything else? She is so cute. I agree. Another thing you can give them are items like this. I was going to show you guys this here in a little bit. This is just a cardboard tube kind of cut on different ends. But for a hedgehog, you want to make sure it doesn't have a hole where they can get their head stuck. A lot of times hedgehogs will stick their heads in things because they want to go tunneling. They live in tunnels in the wild and they live in like you know, little caves and things. When they live underneath the termite mounds and underneath the ground, that's where they go during the day to sleep. They like to be under a blanket. Right now she's under a blanket. I'll show you that too. So this is actually her hide that I kind of carry her around into. So when she's in her enclosure, I turn this back upside down so she can go under it this way, but it works two ways to be able to hold her for programs. Don't get angry, Shirley. I'm so sorry to disturb your sleep. But you can see how she crawls underneath the blanket there. She's underneath there. Maybe you can see her from underneath. Not really. But this thing is really, really handy. It's to be able to carry them around in comfort of them. But they like to kind of stick their heads in things. So if I were to give this to a hedgehog, I'm not going to give this to her today. This is for another animal we're going to talk about here in a minute. You can actually cut this lengthwise, just one slit here, and that will give them a way to get their head out. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure, again, that our items are safe. Back to the wheel again. It is important for you guys, if you ever have a hedgehog in your life or you know of anybody that has one and they use a wire wheel, the wire wheels that have the wires right here and there's spaces in between the wires, those are made for rats and mice and things. Rats and mice don't often get their legs stuck in those, but hedgehogs do. You saw how slender her legs were. So it's really important to use a solid wheel. There are a couple of different ones. I like this style of solid wheel. You can see the back of it. It's very, very quiet. A very easy wheel to use. And these are very, very washable. One other thing about hedgehogs is they're actually pretty messy. Hedgehogs poop a lot. They aren't potty trainable, really. You could probably give them like a little litter box and see if they use it or not, but they're not going to be that good at it in my experience. But they are going to poop on their wheel a lot. So you want to have a wheel that's easy to clean. This one's nice and easy to clean. I can soak it and then wash it out. It has to be done every single day because every single night when they run, there's a mess to clean up, as you might imagine. Oh, yes. And she does go so fast. They actually, yeah. Oh, this is back to the mealworms. The mealworms turn into beetles. Yes, mealworms are larvae or baby beetles. Yes, they are. And that's, again, another food item that we can give her, a live mealworm. Pretty cool, huh? There's all kinds of enrichment you can give your animals. And it's really, really important and a lot of fun to see them hanging out and playing with their enrichment or eating their enrichment. Very, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and meet our second animal, and then we'll talk more about some of the enrichment items that I brought. And don't worry, I will not forget to show you all this enrichment. It does apply to different animals. So this animal is hanging out over here, and let's actually watch our Zoom room commercial really fast because I want to teach you guys about our Zoom rooms while I'm getting this next animal ready. How about that? So you guys aren't too bored waiting for me. Let me see. You guys are so wonderful and patient as always. Let's go ahead and share this. And you guys can learn about our Zoom room animal encounters while we're getting ready for the next animal. All right. Stuck in the house with nothing to do? Did your students miss their fun field trip that was planned for them? Are you looking for a fun team building activity for your employees that are stuck in the house with the same old Zoom meetings from day in and day out? Was your child's birthday party canceled this year because you're stuck in quarantine? Well, then we got the solution for you. Our Zoom room animal encounters are a great solution for you. In Zoom room virtual animal encounters, you can bring the zoo to you, but from the safety of your own home. They are fully customizable, and you can invite all your friends to join in and meet all the animals. They are fun, unique, and very interactive. It's also a great learning opportunity. And most of all, it's very, very simple. Just contact us to book your appointment and schedule your Zoom room. Then select the animals you would like to attend in your Zoom room animal encounter, and then send the link to all of your friends and family who are invited to the Zoom room that we provide to your email. And best of all, we can bring the animals to anyone, anywhere, all over the world. So visit us at onceinawild.com or call us today. We can't wait to see you. Awesome. Did all that make sense? I realized that my backdrop is a little bit warped. This is real life, you guys. We're doing our best out here. I was sitting in front of it, so I didn't even notice that. Forgive me. Hello. It's nice to see you, Viviana. Oh, thank you, Gage. Best commercial ever. Thanks so much. I hope all of that makes sense. And if you guys have any questions about our Zoom rooms and want to schedule one, let me know. Those are really fun. Those are fully customizable. Oh, here's a question about our hedgehog, right? Ricardo has a question. It is, will they only eat larvae or do they eat beetles? So these guys will eat any kind of insect and really any kind of animal protein they find that is edible to them. So they'll eat termites, they'll eat beetles, they'll eat scorpions, they'll eat spiders, they'll eat worms. They'll eat, if they find small enough other critters, they might eat those as well. So definitely not picky when it comes to that. Good question. Oh, happy birthday to your daughter. Happy 14th birthday. We hope to see her on here sometime. All right, let's get to our next animal before I forget. All right, let's let him out. Here he comes. Come on, buddy. Have you guys been missing our rabbit? I'm sure you have. He's very popular. Once he knows that I have treats over here, he'll come back. Don't worry. Come here, Sandor. This is Sandor, our giant rabbit. Turn around. Crazy. Right here. Good boy. Come up in my lap. A little bit. Here he is. This is Sandor, our Flemish giant rabbit. He does know how to stand up. Now, again, about animal enrichment, it's really important to give all of your animals some kind of fun thing to do. Now, special treats can be enrichment, and animal training can also be enrichment. In my opinion, animal training is the best form of enrichment you can give your animals. Animals all across the spectrum can be trained, including animals like this, or small spiders and birds and hedgehogs. All kinds of animals can be trained as long as you find what motivates them. As you can see, Sandor here is motivated by bananas. That's his favorite treat. He just dropped a piece of banana right now. He eats the peel and the banana too. Now this is a Flemish giant rabbit, a special breed of rabbit, which comes from the European rabbit species, just like the wolf was the origin of the dog back in the old days, right? This is the domestic rabbit. The breed is the Flemish giant, like I said, and this is the second largest rabbit breed in the world. The first largest rabbit breed is the continental giant. That is a different giant rabbit breed. Excuse me while I get situated here. He's munching on some more banana. See if we can get him to stand up again so you guys can see him. Maybe I will change our camera angle if I have to. This guy is extra, extra large. Stand up. Oh, he's too busy eating his crumbs down here. Sometimes animals do whatever they want. Animal training consists of motivating your animal with something they like, but we don't force them to do anything, right? That's not what animal training is. Forcing them to do something is totally different. Yes. See how he stands up? That is a natural behavior. I'm not asking him to stand up because it's unnatural to him. That is something that rabbits do. They might stand up to survey their surroundings. And so I'm just asking him to do that when I ask him to. And he's basically just following my hand. So I point up like that. That's his signal to stand up. But he's following the scent of the banana. So it makes it very, very easy. Rabbits have a great sense of smell, just like the hedgehog. They also have great sense of vision. A great sense of vision. They can see almost all the way around their body. They have two tiny blind spots in the front and in the back, one of each. But rabbits are prey animals. They are not predators at all, like the hedgehog. Hedgehog is both prey and predator, right? Hedgehogs stay safe with their spines. The rabbit stays safe by use of all their senses. They have very, very sensitive senses, like their sense of vision. Like I said, their sense of hearing is really, really good too. I might angle this down just a little bit since he keeps dipping out of frame. There we go. He has a great sense of hearing. Obviously, he's got huge ears. When you look at a mammal, this applies only to mammals, not birds and reptiles and things. When you look at a mammal, their biggest features on their face usually indicate what they're best at. So a rabbit, of course, is famous for their great big ears. They also have great big eyes. They can see almost 360 degrees around their body, which is really handy when you are a prey animal. He's going to go check out some enrichment over here. They can switch positions and see if he'll come back. If he comes back, he does. If not, we'll talk about something else. But he also has a great sense of smell. So all those things help him to stay safe. Can you come up here? Are you already full? There's no way that you're already full. Can you come up here? A little bit higher so people can see you. Oh, yes. But yeah, that is a rule of thumb with mammals in general. It's specifically with mammals, but in mammals in general, if you take a look at their features on their face, like humans, we have big eyes, right? We're very visual in comparison to other senses. Oh my goodness. There we go. Sorry, all the angles are kind of difficult sometimes when we're on the ground. But you can see how he stands up. He can do that to survey danger. So this type of rabbit lives in Europe. That is the origin of all domestic species, or all domestic breeds of rabbit, rather, and the species. They are a separate species now, but when they were domesticated, they were domesticated first for food purposes from the European rabbit. And then they were realized to be really good animal companions, right? And then we developed all kinds of breeds of them. Rabbits have only been domesticated for a short period of time by comparison to other domesticated species. I can't remember how long. I think it's around 2,000 years, something like that, maybe less. So not too long. Like a dog has been domesticated for much, much longer, for example. But there are many breeds of rabbits. And again, this is the second largest breed. Rabbits can hear up to 2 miles away from them. So that is how they can hear with those great big ears. They can also move their ears around in different directions to hear directionally all around their body, 2-mile radius around them, which is really handy when they're running away from predators like wolves, foxes, birds of prey. Birds of prey are probably their top predator because a lot of times they can't hear them coming. But some birds of prey, like hawks and eagles, actually do make sounds when they fly. Other birds of prey, like owls, don't really make sounds when they fly. So that might be a little bit easier for a rabbit to hear, right? Oh, he's so cute, you guys. He is a very sweet rabbit. When we are back out again and able to do so, we will be bringing our rabbit out for animal therapy once again and for animal programs. What questions do you guys have so far? He looks giant. He is giant. He's around 20 pounds. I haven't weighed him in a little bit. I need to weigh him again. And last time I weighed him, he was about 19 pounds. What do they eat? For the rabbit, they eat mostly grasses and other plants. They are 100% herbivorous, meaning they're herbivores or plant eaters. They do not eat any kind of meat. They only eat fruits and vegetables and plants. That is what they do. So while he's hanging out over here and cleaning himself, I think he's a little dirty from all the banana. He's going to hang out. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's back. Once he decides to be done, I'm going to talk about his enrichment, because sometimes Sandor gets full and then he'll leave and explore the room, which he loves to do. That is another form of enrichment. Is not only animal training, right, but also new environments. So sometimes we'll take him outside to have a little bit of a romp outside in a supervised environment. These guys are prey, so we don't want to risk him getting preyed upon by another animal. So we never let him outside by himself. It's always in an enclosure of some kind and also with supervision. Although he is a great big rabbit, so I would be very impressed if a predator could get a hold of him, but it could happen. So we don't want that to happen ever. So that's one thing that he can have for enrichment, specifically with him. There's a little piece on my finger. You can get it without biting me. There's some banana peel, yum. But that's another thing that he can do is just exploring different rooms. When you keep a rabbit in your home, it's best to actually give them their own room or run of your house. That is really, really great for them because they need a lot of room. Even a small rabbit is very active. These animals are crepuscular, though, meaning that they're active during dawn and dusk mostly. Come here. Good boy. So, but they do need a lot of room to romp around. They like to run around and explore and things. And they're actually trainable with a litter box, which is really, really handy. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to wipe my hand. I'm going to let him run around a little bit. I'm going to close this food pouch so he doesn't get into my food pouch when I'm not looking. I'll turn this up one more time. Okay. And he might just be kind of doing his thing around us, and that's okay too. But let's talk about rabbit enrichment. So rabbits are really smart animals. As you can see, he knows how to be trained, and he knows where the food's at right now. And he likes attention. Attention is another form of enrichment. Almost anything can be enrichment for these animals, right? As long as it's enriching their life, maybe encouraging natural behaviors or making them more active in their life or discouraging bad behaviors, etc. So things like paper. We can maybe put different little smells on paper, maybe like some fruit juices or something, and he would maybe chew this up. This is safe for them to chew on. Sandor isn't super thrilled about paper enrichment, but we've tried it with him, and some of the other animals can also get paper enrichment. This is just packing paper, very, very safe. He's gonna trip all over things. He's kind of a big boy. So just some packing paper kind of crumpled up. You can also do things like putting paper inside of wood items like this. This is a great chewing item for your rabbits, your rodents. Talk about hamsters. So you can actually put paper through here and make them a little bit more exciting for them. That's a really fun item, right? Cool, huh? You can even do this, and I bet he'll really like this right now. You can put romaine lettuce through here and give it to your rabbit, and they'll eat the lettuce out of it. And they might even chew on the wood item too. Isn't that cool? He's really excited about his romaine. He hasn't had romaine today yet. So Sandor gets mostly hay. Hay should be about 85 to 90% of their diet, more or less, 80% or 90%. They can live off of just hay, is my point. And that is the Timothy or orchard hay, not just like coastal hay. Coastal hay almost has no nutritional value. But these guys are grass eaters and plant eaters in the wild, so having that hay is going to mimic their natural diet. And another part of their the rest of the percentage, 80 to 90%, you want as Timothy or orchard hay. They have to have that all the time. They should have constant hay supply to be able to eat all the time. That helps their digestive system to keep on rolling, as it does when you're a rabbit. And also, they should get greens. So romaine is fine. Better for them, though, is going to be things like collard greens, mustard greens, Occasional fruits for training, what I usually give him for training, although he seems to like his romaine for training today. And also he gets a little bit of pellets, but pellets can make them a little chunky, so you don't want to give too many pellets at all, unless they're babies. If they're babies, they can get more pellets. But that's a really fun way to give your animals enrichment, right? I'm gonna put this over here and see if he goes for it. Sometimes you just have to experiment with some of these enrichment items. And again, different ways to present their food. He's gonna go straight over here. How about here? There you go. Oh, you can't even see it. Let's turn around. We'll let him turn around at his leisure. And I'll give him this again. But one thing you can do is kind of experiment with new ways to feed your dogs and cats at home. There might be different ways to put it in exciting new bowls or give them new toys. Like I said, it's like the sky's the limit, you guys. Use your imagination. There's all kinds of ways. One thing with enrichment too, or one kind of idea with enrichment, is giving animals a little bit more of a difficult time because it makes their diet last throughout the day. And that is kind of a good thing for smarter animals, if you will, like birds and other animals. Turn around. People can see you eating it. You guys see him? There he goes. So cute. And again, animal training. But that's just a cool way we can kind of like give him his diet a little bit differently. You can see it. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Can they be pets? Yes, I actually do recommend rabbits for pets. And the Flemish rabbits are very good pets. They are very, very sweet rabbits, very tolerant of handling and tolerant of other animals. He could care less about our dogs. We have 3 dogs in the house, actually 4 dogs in the house, and he is not scared of dogs. You want some more banana? We can give you some of that too. Here, he's going straight for the food pouch. He knows where the source is. There we go. And we might even like rub some banana on this to entice him to eat it and chew on it. There's all kinds of things you can do, right? But yeah, rabbits can be pets. They're domesticated. They're good pets. You just want to do your research. I do recommend the Flemish giant rabbit, but you have to have basically a whole room ready for them to romp around in because they are so big. He may not look that big back here, but he is about 20 pounds. He's a big rabbit. They can be litter box trained. He's one of my easier animals to really clean up after because he does go in a litter box. If you want more information on how to do that, it's very easy. They do need constant hay. He eats a lot of hay, so you're gonna have to buy like a bale of hay about once or maybe every other, like once a month, something like that. Maybe a little bit, maybe every 6 weeks and get a bale of hay. I do have these guys. Well, I have this guy. I have my guinea pigs, and I have tortoises and other animals that need hay as well. Also, I use hay for enrichment, like you saw. Let me see. Everybody's watching. I'm so happy. Hi. So alfalfa is good too. Alfalfa, Timothy orchard. I would recommend your Timothy hay mixed with alfalfa though. That was what I was told when I was researching about rabbits and learning from people. Alfalfa, I don't know if alfalfa is good like 100% of the time, but I could be wrong. So everybody, all you rabbit experts out there. So carrots are good for treats. They're kind of like fruit. They're full of sugar. So carrots are good for training only. I would not give carrots every day. Do not do that. That is too sugary and too high in calories. And green lettuce is really just water. So that's not really going to give them any nutrients either. I would recommend, see that? He's not dumb. He knows where the food is. Look. I would recommend things like collard greens, mustard greens. Here, buddy, you deserve your banana. It's over here. It's over here. You're going to have to work for it. It's over here. Collard greens, mustard greens, dandelion greens. Those are all really good, like staple greens. And romaine on occasion. And you can give lettuce too, but it's not going to give them any nutrients. It's just water. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And then carrots. Carrots are only going to be for treats. Here's a good question. We talked about this, I think, on another live stream about rabbit reproduction. So female rabbits, not a male like this, obviously, but female rabbits actually have what we call a duplex uterus. That means they can have 2 pregnancies at once. And as long as there is not too cold of weather and there are resources for that mom rabbit to eat, and if she feels like it's safe enough to breed, they will breed all year. They are prolific breeders. That's what that means. There's plenty of food for you right there. There's plenty of food for you right there. I promise. It's like, but mom, more food. It's right there on the ground. You're so silly. He's like, oh, there it is. He's smart, but I guess not that smart. So yes, they're prolific breeders. They breed all year round as long as it's not too cold. So wintertime, probably not. And they can have 2 pregnancies at once. So they have a ton of babies. So I don't really have like an exact number for you. That is a great question and something I think I researched at one point, but I've forgotten. But they can have many, many babies, and they can have a lot of babies each litter as well. He's gonna go find the bananas over here. I'm not gonna let him get it. Yes, they are prolific breeders. Lots and lots of babies. So that is one other good reason to talk about this. So if you have 2 rabbits, you want to make sure they are not male and female, because they will definitely have babies very, very soon in their life, and they will have lots of babies very soon. So that is a problem, right? You want to make sure and be responsible, get your pets spayed or neutered, or have 2 of the same gender. You can have rabbits together as long as they're used to each other from the beginning. Sandor does not have another rabbit that he lives with, but he's got other animals that hang out with him, as well as myself, of course. I hang out with them too. There's food over here for you. He's over here looking for more, but it's right here. Bye. That's fine. He's going to go explore. It's fine. The animals do what they want tonight. Maybe he's more into exploring than eating right now, right this minute. I'll put all this away, I suppose. I'm going to clean up after ourselves. But yes, that is very important. You can have 2 males together if they're neutered. I don't recommend having 2 unneutered males together. They may fight, and they may be territorial. That is not good. They can hurt each other. And you want to introduce them slowly if they haven't grown up together. So if they've grown up together, it's usually fine, excuse me. But if they have not, then you want to get them used to each other very, very, very carefully. You are learning so much. I'm so glad. Yes, carrots for treats are perfectly fine and safe, just like bananas. Bananas have sugar too, but we don't give it to him every day. It's just for training purposes and for special enrichment and treats and things like that. So it shouldn't be like a staple food item. Collard greens, mustard greens, dandelion greens are your 3 main greens that I always recommend for like kind of everyday greens for your rabbits. You can also give like cilantro. There's all kinds of greens that you can give. The more nutrients, the better. Don't overdo it on kale for any animals. Okay, kale is okay on occasion, and spinach is okay on occasion, but don't overdo it on the spinach either. Your daughter wants one really badly. I like the Flemish. The Flemish giant rabbits are fantastic. And like I was saying, he doesn't have another rabbit with him, but he seems to enjoy the company of people a little bit better anyway. He did live with rabbits when he was a baby from the place that I got him, which was from a special breeder of these guys. No, you can't have all the food. There's no more left. He was with rabbits, and he seemed to do fine with them too, but he was still a baby, so, you know, not mature yet, so who knows what would have happened. But he seems to be perfectly content hanging out with humans. He's also got birds that he hangs out with in the bird room, so he's great. All right. So more about rabbit enrichment. So there's other enrichments. Like I said, we've got this thing that they can chew on. These are great for rodents, for the hedgehog, as long as you cut the slit, right, for them to escape in their head. But he cannot get his head stuck in here. He's way too big. So that makes sense, right? This is not going to hurt the rabbit. You can give him that to chew on and maybe roll around and things if he wants to. Again, Sandor doesn't really care about enrichment that much, but he likes food enrichment. He likes environmental enrichment, so like changes in his environment, things like that, which can really be anything, I guess. Going outside, he really likes to romp around in the sunshine. When we supervise him, that is very, very much on a case-by-case basis. You don't want to just let your rabbits outside. They can get eaten by predators out there, and they can get sick. So we don't recommend keeping rabbits outside. We recommend keeping our rabbits inside where it's safe, where it's temperature controlled. Rabbits overheat very, very easily. So that's not recommended, but on occasional, like outside in a controlled environment, it's perfectly fine, and he likes that. Hello, Sylvia. Nice to see you. So the rabbit is around, I want to say over a year old now. I need to be a better mom and not know the birthdays of all my animals. But he is around a year old now, and he is almost 20 pounds. Aren't you? He is so cute. Oh, here he comes. Hi. Everybody would love to see you. He is so sweet. He also really likes attention from us. I know right now he's like, "Where's the food? Give me all the bananas." But usually attention from us is more than plenty of entertainment for him. So I'm going to go ahead and open his kennel and see if he'll go back in on his own. I'm not going to be rushed about that or anything. We're going to open that and let him go back in at his leisure. He is so sweet and cute. I agree. And I know I'm kind of keeping it casual today. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place today. Sylvia is asking, when can he have babies? So these guys are mature very, very quickly. So he could have mated with a female and been a father. He's not a female. He's a male. So he could have mated and been a father very, very young, just like a couple months old. These guys they mature very, very quickly. So we're not going to let him do that. He doesn't have a female rabbit with him. We're not going to be breeding them. I mean, we're not planning on doing that. So he will not be having babies anytime soon. Oh, there he is again. So here's a good question from Christian. Hi, Christian. Can they learn tricks or recognize their name when you call them? Yes. So rabbits are very, very smart. I think he knows his name. Sometimes he's gonna go back in his kennel. Bye, Sandor. His name is Sandor. Good boy. So since he did go back in his kennel, I am gonna give him a little bit of a treat. Let's see if we can get him some more lettuce. Romaine lettuce. Here you go. Again, he only gets romaine on occasion. Usually we give him dark greens. This is more of a treat, which is why he's so excited about it today, I guess. Yum. Okay, so yes, they can. And in fact, I brought you a video today to show you guys. I brought a video to show y'all about his behaviors that he does. So they can learn what we call behaviors. We don't really call them tricks. We call them behaviors because they're natural behaviors. But that's okay if you want to call them tricks. That's better. That looks much prettier. Okay. They can. They're very food motivated, very, very smart. He learned a couple of really neat behaviors from me very, very quickly. And they do recognize their name. And he knows how to come for food. He knows how to come when he feels like it to me calling his name, etc. Here's a good question. Hi, Tanja. Do you ever harness/leash him for bigger programs? Yes. So he actually does wear a harness on occasion. He hasn't worn one in a while because we haven't done public programs in a while. But it really just depends. If it's an indoor program where I know he's not going to really be in danger, if it's a small room, I won't necessarily put him on a harness. But if it's a big backyard where maybe there's like, you know, rowdy guests or rowdy children or anything like that, and he might run into a dangerous situation or get underneath something, etc., and I want him to be present for the program, I will sometimes put him on a harness. He does actually wear a harness or leash. Very, very good question. A lot of animals can be trained for a harness. There's many of them that can do that. Very good question. That is something to be done only if you know what you're doing. I don't recommend putting a harness on any rabbit. You want to make sure and be taught how to do that because it actually can be dangerous for rabbits if you don't get the proper fitting or if you don't know how to have them wear it with no danger. Rabbits have very, very sensitive backs. They can hurt their back with the improper fitting of a harness and with improper usage of a leash and harness. So I just want to warn you guys about that. So let's go ahead and watch a video of Sandor getting trained. This is really cute, I think. And thank you guys for your patience with me today. Okay, here we go. We're going to hit play really fast. So this is him learning a new behavior at the time. Now it's an old behavior. And it is a spin. So I'm teaching him how to spin in a circle. I'm watching the camera. So this is the room that he lives in usually, and the birds are behind him, as you can see. And he's just following my hand signal like that and learning how to spin. Isn't that cool? And he learned this very, very fast. Look at that. This was just like the second day that we were teaching him how to do this. That I was teaching him how to do this. And then I wanted him to come up over there on that chair. And he can hop onto different things. He can hop really well, as you can see. He's got those amazing long back legs that can help him jump. He can jump around 4 to 5 feet, but a jackrabbit can actually jump about 12 feet to get away from danger. Isn't that cool? So I'm giving him lots of praise and treats. Right there, I'm actually giving him his pellet diet for his rewards at that time. And that also works too, not just fruits and vegetables, but his pellet diet, which they really like. So pellets should just be a small percentage of their diet as well. Very, very cool. You guys have great questions today. Thank you for joining in, all of you guys. Let me make sure and get everybody's questions. I think I did. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to meet our final animal. Let's talk about their enrichment first, and then we'll meet the animals. How's that? Because I'm going to have my hands full with these 2 animals. We have 2 more animals and 1 more species to learn about. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so let's learn about bird enrichment. So we're going to be talking about birds. I keep showing this thing over and over again, but this is a great simple item. It's just a paper roll that I've cut up. You can see how it used to be, like that. And then I cut the ends and then squash the ends down like this. So it can either like roll like this for animals to kind of like nose it around and play with it, like a toy. They can chew on it if you're a rabbit or a guinea pig or any other animal. You can smell it if I put something smelly on here for the hedgehog, right? For the hedgehog, again, we want to cut that slit down this side. That way they can get their head out in case they get stuck. And probably the same thing with our next animal too. For smaller birds, you want to make sure and be mindful of small holes like this so they can get their head stuck in. So for the bird, I would probably do the same thing. For birds, you can also cut a hole like this and hang it. You might want to get something that you can hang it with. So we have clips like this. Teeny tiny little carabiner clips like this. Can you see it? There are also other types of clips you can use. You want to be careful with clips, make sure they're safe. You can cut a little hole here and hang it. If you would imagine there's a hole here and you can just hang it on their enclosure like that. That's very easy. You can also use paper. You could hang this on the side of their enclosure too. You could give it to them on the floor. Birds also seem to really like hay as well. Can you see where all these items can be used for different animals? Isn't that neat and creative? So birds often, like my doves, will often do this. They will use this for nesting material. They will make nests out of this hay, and often do. And then they lay eggs in their nests sometimes. This is also a fun little bird toy. It's a paper toy made of natural paper. And the cockatiels really like this. And I actually got this as a donation from our Amazon wish list. There are similar items on Amazon that you guys can actually purchase for us to give to our animals and send to our door. You can find our Amazon wish list at onceinawhile.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom on that website, and you can find our button that says donate to our cause. And you can find all kinds of cool items for the animals. Most of these are homemade items, as you can see. But some of them are items that you might find at the store, like these items. So it really just depends. You kind of get creative with your usage of these things, right? And you can enrich your animals. So birds need a lot of enrichment. Most bird species are very, very busy-bodied. They're very, very active during the day. They're diurnal. Some birds are nocturnal, like owls, right? But many birds are diurnal. They're very busy all day. They want something to do, just like us, all day long. So keeping them with nothing to do all day is kind of not great. It helps them to not start negative behaviors like plucking behaviors or screaming behaviors or boredom. It's just the right thing to do. You always want to give your birds something to do. You guys have birds. Alrighty, speaking of birds, let's go ahead and meet some. How would you like that? And I'll tell you, one of my bird's favorite enrichment items was none of those things that I showed you, but I have a video of him enjoying that item. So let's go ahead and meet our birds. How would you like that? Let's see what you guys have to say so far. Tanja says, yes, for affordable enrichment, recycle and reuse. Yes, that's a great way you can actually reuse recyclable things, or, you know, like I said, reuse again instead of just throwing things away. We want to reuse, reduce, and recycle. That helps animals all over the world, right? Not just our animals at home, but animals all over the world in the wild. Okay, guys, let's get ready to meet our next animals. They are really excited to meet you guys. I'm going to scoot back. And get rid of this. And once again, sorry I'm on the ground. It's kind of awkward. But it's the only way that I can let you guys see the rabbit. Good job. Oh, I have a cockatiel on my head if you can't see. So here are our two cockatiels. This is Pikachu, and this is Evie. Evie, would you like some food? Sometimes Evie will land on my head because that's where he's most comfortable. That's okay. If he wants to sit on my head, I guess that's okay. Let's crouch down so you guys can see Evie. Evie is the gray cockatiel on top of my head. He's the male. And Pikachu is our female cockatiel. She is a Lutino, aka a yellow cockatiel, of course, right? You want food, baby boy? Come on. Come here. Good boy. That's much better. So training, again, is very, very important for most animals. Training is very enriching for birds. But enrichment is enriching too, obviously, right? And Evie will probably go onto my shoulder here in a little bit, so you'll be able to see that. These guys are cockatiels. They are in the parrot family and are also in the cockatoo family specifically. So they are parrots. They have a curved beak designed for crunching nuts and seeds. They also have zygodactyl feet, which are 2 toes in the front and 2 toes in the back, just like Evie has here. That helps them to climb and hold things with their feet. And let me sit here for a minute. Sometimes it's hard to work with 2 animals at once, isn't it? Pika. Good girl. And they also have an upright stance when they are at rest. When they are resting and perching, they sit upright like that. That is a feature of most parrots as well. Scoot in with you guys here. You see how cute they are? Oh, Evie's going to come over to this hand too. That's even easier. Very, very good. Ha ha ha. Cockatoos and cockatiels both have a crest of feathers on top of their head, which they use for communication. That will tell you their mood. You guys are awfully hungry today. They will tell you their mood. If they are super alert and excited about something, that crest of feathers on top of their head will come right up. So all those enrichment items that I showed you guys can be used for cockatiels, as well as other birds, like other parrots that you guys might have or have in your life. Here's a great question. Can they be trained to speak? So Evie here is a bird that tries to talk. And yes, they can be trained to talk on cue, although I'm still working on that. And you'll be able to see a video here in just a little bit of some of that behavior that I have taught Evie. You can come up here. You want to? There we go. I'm going to get situated. I'm also going to take off my earring because that's another enrichment item that he wants to chew on, but I'm not going to let him. It's not for him. It's for me. My earring. He's like, this is a bird toy, right? We're talking about enrichment today. Are you just so hungry today? Okay. Here. Good boy. Good job. They're acting very hungry today. It's not always the case. You never know what's going on. Oh, he's going back for the source. That's fine. Are they a very vocal species? All parrots are very vocal. Like I said, this parrot species isn't, I'd be nice. This parrot species isn't the best at talking, but they do try to talk. And Evie, actually, I have a video of Evie talking here in a little bit that I'm going to show you. And they can be trained to talk on cue. That's something we're still working on. These guys are only a year old. They're still learning a lot of things and still in training all the time. Animals are always in training, but especially animals that are new, they're kind of learning a lot of things right now. So we're working on that. So let's go ahead and watch that really fast. And you'll see Evie's favorite enrichment of all time, which is looking into a mirror. So mirrors are really, really fun for birds as well, and fun for many animal species as well, and types. I think Pikachu wants some food. But Evie especially loves mirrors. So let's watch that together. Whisper. Good boy. Oh, I have 2 Evies. 2 Evies. Uh-huh. Hi. Good boy. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Whisper. That's right. Oh, you're so good. You're so cute. Come here. Say, come here. Come here. Yeah. Pikachu. Pikachu. Come here. Perch. Can you say perch? Perch. Good. All right, that was cool. I'm gonna let them finish their food before I move one of them to my shoulder. I have hands full, as you can see, down here in this little screen. But that is an example of Evie enjoying the mirror. And that was right after a shower as well. So these birds require a shower to stay healthy and clean, just like us. Not as often as us, but they enjoy a shower from time to time. And that was after a shower, and then I decided to give him some mirror time, which he really likes. For me. There we go. But that's cute, huh? It shows you how much he really loves the mirror. And these guys are trained, as you can see, as well. My birds are fully flighted. All of our birds are flighted. And that is something we believe in here at Once in a While. And I personally think that birds that fly should be able to fly as long as they are healthy and everything else. Right, Pika? So they are not clipped. They are here free of choice. And we've trained them to be around people, and they're also hand raised, so they're used to people, right? So they're not afraid. Okay, what questions do you guys have about any of that? How did he learn the sound? So Pikachu, the female, the yellow one, she knows just like some basic couple of whistles that are like natural for a cockatiel to say and do. But Evie learned all kinds of things from hearing me talk, and I guess just kind of hearing my cell phone, and some of the other sounds that he makes are also natural sounds as well. And they just kind of pick and choose what they want to and talk about, just like humans do. Thank you for saying they're beautiful, Tanja. Thank you very much. He's a very good boy. Thank you. Yes, they are wonderful. So the cockatiel comes from Australia. These guys are an Australian native. They do live in family groups and also would be seen in large flocks because they are a prey animal, just like the rabbit. These guys don't have big ears, but they do have good hearing. Remember, that's only a rule for mammals, whatever is biggest on their body. They are very visual as well, as most birds are. Most birds are extremely visual. And also, these guys, like I said, they'll be listening and looking out for predators, but they also live in groups. So this type of bird would live in family groups as well as bigger flocks, and they might even hang out with other species of birds as well. They're not super picky about that. They mingle very well with other species. They're not aggressive towards other animals and other species of birds and stuff like that, which makes them a very good aviary bird. They can live in aviaries with other species because their natural instinct is to seek out the safety in numbers. That's going to help them stay safe in the wild from their main predators, which are other birds, birds of prey. So hawks and eagles and things like that are going to be their main predators out there in Australia. Pretty cool. He's just eating right out of my hand, which is great. Well, you guys have been fantastic today. I hope you learned a lot about animal enrichment and about some animal care. This has been a little bit of a different animal encounter than we normally do. We normally just kind of talk casually about the animals and their natural history, but I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I care for my animals, enrichment, and why it's important. So remember, animal enrichment can be anything that keeps your animal busy, gives them a fun time, gives them something different in their day for them to use their mind a little bit. Environmental enrichment can be just changing up their environment a little bit within reason. Some animals do get nervous with environmental change, so you want to be careful about that and know your animal a little bit. Some dogs are nervous to go out and about, and some dogs love it. So it just depends on your animal. Same thing with birds and anything else. Some animals get nervous with change, some animals love it. So it just kind of depends. Birds tend to be a little nervous with new changes, depending on the changes. I'm coming. He's getting very impatient with me giving us food. I'll need to see you. But it all just depends. So use your judgment, know your animals. That's the first step in all of this, is getting to know the animals that you are taking care of, right? And enriching. But enrichment can be anything at all that helps your animal to promote natural behavior, to lessen unwanted behaviors, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of things to look up on enrichment. By the way, on our website, onceinawild.com, we do have a blog, which I wrote, all about animal enrichment, just to kind of give you an overview about all that. There's a piece. There you go. I'm dropping food all over. Birds are very messy. If you guys want birds, be prepared to clean up a lot of mess and put up with a lot of noise, like we talked about already. Not just talking, but screeching and screaming. Cockatiels are one of the least noisy parrots, but they are still very noisy. They're pretty low volume when it comes to being a parrot, but they're still pretty loud. But they're very, very messy, as you can see. That was my point. There is a blog over at onceinawild.com. If you look up our blogs, there's several of them, but I wrote one about animal enrichment, which might answer questions about enrichment in general. It's just kind of a general overview. If you ever have questions about any animal care at all or enrichment, please let me know. My number is scrolling down below. You can also contact us through onceinawild.com or through any of our social media. You can message us there. If you're interested in animal encounter, whether it be in person or via Zoom room or virtual means, please let me know as well. Remember, we have those gift cards going on right now. You guys can buy a gift card at onceinawild.com as well. That goes towards any of our services, including virtual or in-person services. And you guys just let us know what you're interested in. If you guys also have any suggestions for any of our virtual programs, like our live streams, which we run every Monday and Friday right now at 3:30 p.m. Central. That is when we're running them until further notice. We may change that up as we get busier, but right now we're doing that. If you guys have any suggestions of animals you want to see or different types of things you want to learn about or etc., please let me know in the comments down below. Please leave lots of comments. That helps us out. Please share this video and tag your friends in all of our videos. Please follow us on all of our social media, including Facebook, which hopefully you're doing right now, YouTube, Instagram, we're on there as well. We're also on TikTok and Twitter and LinkedIn, all the things. So please follow us on all of those things that you are able to follow us on. And I'm so glad that I give amazing info. Thank you very much. That's a great compliment. And I'm glad I gave you ideas for cockatoo. Yes, cockatoos need a lot of enrichment, don't they? Those guys are really, really loud. And I commend you for having a cockatoo in your life. Those guys are way louder than I'm able to handle, honestly. I'm not a very good person when it comes to lots of noise. These guys are about as noisy as I want. So if you ever want a cockatoo, just know they are one of the loudest birds on the face of the planet. Cockatoos are just as loud as an airplane. So like an airplane in your house. Pretty crazy. And thank you guys so very much for tuning in. And we hope to see you guys Friday. Just like Tiffany's saying, we'll see you guys Friday at 3:30 p.m. Central. Remember that is Central Time, 3:30 p.m. on Friday. And let me know in the meantime if you guys are interested in your own personal Zoom room animal encounter or anything at all. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy Memorial Day once again. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hopefully you're not too bummed out about this being the end of your weekend, etc. And we'll see you guys next time here at Once in a Wild. All right. Alrighty, guys. We'll see you on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, guys.